begins.
The Final Fantasy series has been around for more than 20 years, but there's never been anything like Dissidia in this venerable franchise. Half action game and half RPG, this PSP exclusive features an epic fight between the Goddess of Harmony and the God of Destruction. And I do mean epic. Each respective side has recruited some of the strongest fighters from the Final Fantasy universe. The result is something that Final Fantasy fans won't want to miss.
It's the end!
In terms of presentation, Square Enix has really outdone itself with Dissidia. Everything from the character customization to item management to bonus content has been so well thought out it is staggering. Even better is that all of these elements are heavily based in Final Fantasy lore. Moogles send you email, there are hundreds of classic Final Fantasy icons to collect. This really is a love letter to Final Fantasy fans. Then there are additional things like a full calendar system that gives special bonuses depending on what day you're playing, and a very robust replay editor that allows you to edit and export replays of your fights. Simply put, this is the most content-heavy PSP game I have ever seen. The game also looks and sounds beautiful. The characters and special moves are distinct and have a lot of detail to them, and the soundtrack is a giant collection of some of the best music from the entire series. On the downside, a lot of the voice acting is hit or miss, and the overblown narration is pretty laughable.
The world has been torn asunder.
Also, most of the cutscenes are rendered in-game and lower key than many Final Fantasy fans might be used to. They aren't quite as impressive as I would have liked.
There. Over here!
We've covered the fighting system before, but it's worth repeating again. Basically, Dissidia is what I like to call a one-on-one action game that has you balance between two different sets of attacks, bravery attacks and HP attacks. Bravery attacks build up your bravery, and then HP attacks inflict damage on your opponent equal to your current bravery. It's a very deep system that only gets better as you progress through the game. You'll be able to completely customize your character with individual move lists, accessories, and summons. Each character also plays very differently. The Warrior of Light, for example, is a very classic, close-ranged fighter, while Terra is suitable for long-range combat. The characters are definitely nuanced, so it'll take you a while to master all of them. However, I do want to shy away from calling this a traditional fighting game. It's not really about the skill of executing complex moves, but rather about reading your opponent's playstyle, taking time to set up ambushes, and using the environment to your advantage. Timing is also an important part of the game, so while it does require skill, it's a bit easier to handle than modern fighters. As much as I like the battle system, the pacing of the main campaign is a little off. The first part of the game has each of the 10 main characters fighting to obtain one of 10 crystals. These stories run parallel, so you'll see a lot of the same events, but from different perspectives. After playing through each character's story, I was definitely tired of the routine. However, the second part of the game is a more linear story where you pick just one character and go straight through. Not only is this much more interesting from a story standpoint, but it also introduces alternate versions of the levels that keeps the gameplay fresh. The game also ends with one of the coolest but most infuriating bosses in recent memory. If you're good enough to beat him, you're treated with even more bonus content post-credits. Dissidia also has a lot of options when it comes to multiplayer. It has a nice lobby system, the ability to transfer ghost fighters, and the chance to get special items that can only be obtained in multiplayer modes. Actual ad hoc matches run pretty smoothly, but there's some lag when a lot of particles get on the screen. The lag is tolerable though, so you'll still have a good time.
Here goes.
Dissidia is a very impressive game all around. Pacing problems and repetition do hold it back a little bit, but the sheer amount of content in this game is mind-blowing. This is an excellent game for action fans, and Final Fantasy fanatics will especially be happy with all of the throwbacks to their beloved franchise. For the full written review, head over to IGN.com.